What's up, everybody? This is Carmine Davis, and you are watching and listening to The Carmine Davis Show. What's tea, bitch? Like, what the fuck is up? Crazy week. Which, of course, I would download you guys on my after show, patreon.com/Carmine Davis. It's been a lot going on. Been kind of down in the dumps, but this show always gets me in a great mood. I'll tell you all about that, how I got into a riff with my neighbor, honey, situations going on with like friends again. We talked about it, we touched on it a little bit, but there's more details about my personal life. Tune into patreon.com/Carmine Davis. But most of you didn't come here to hear me talk about my life. You guys came here to hear the hot topics, and we're going to get into it. Okay, before we do, make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I don't do it for my health. Okay, tap into all of our socials, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, Twitter.com/Carmine Davis, TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis. I'm at Carmine Davis everywhere. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, Shaunie Henderson addresses misinterpretations of her new book detailing pasts with Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, one thing about Shaunie and Shaq's relationship, it was full of mess, right? And Shaunie keeps the mess going, and I'm sure this book is full of tea. Okay, following the book's May the 7th release, a section where Henderson examines if she was ever really in love with the man has had the internet talking, including O'Neal himself, according to People. I understand. I wouldn't have been in love with me either. Wishing you all the best. All love, Shaq. He wrote on Instagram with the caption, "Trust me, I get it," said the former Lakers player in a message on Instagram the next day. "Trust me, I get it." While addressing this now viral comment, Henderson told the outlet she believes people have taken the excerpt tape. What did she say? Okay, so while addressing this comment, Henderson told the outlet she believes people have taken the excerpt tape out of context. My book is my truth, and when I was talking to my friend yesterday, I was like, developing an opinion, and a comment from content with no context will show you a lot of people's intelligence and unintelligence, right? There was no context to just that one quote that I said, and I think that sadly people are taking my words out of context, she said. I'm not a word girl, I'm a character girl, and since I've left the marriage of Shaquille, my character has spoken for itself. People don't read, you know what I mean? Love not, in love, they pick out the words they want. Again, context is everything, she added. Henderson says she can't speak for O'Neal or why he would run with the excerpt while contending, but it's my book, my truth, and it's my legacy. O'Neal and Henderson were married 2002, but went their separate ways in 2007. Their divorce was finalized in 2011. I thought that they were, I'm sorry, let me take off my glasses. I forgot about the glare. I thought they were married a lot longer. But since then, Henderson has moved on. In 2022, she married Keon Henderson, who she explained gave her a new perspective on love. When you love somebody, but to be in love with somebody is a different feeling. And I will be honest, I didn't realize that until I found the love of my life. Right now, I'm in this marriage. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a different feeling by BT. I 110% get where she's coming from. You know, take the big names out, right? That was like 20 years ago. So her concept on maybe who she was and what she allowed or what she thought was right for her is completely different than who she was 20 years ago. If you're doing things right? Most people, get the quote unquote privilege to live, like be born one way and die the same way, right? These are, creatures who just don't develop, you know what I mean? And kudos to you, ignorance is bliss. But when I think about who I was like in my first relationship in college and the things that I allowed and the things that I accepted for myself and looking at me now creeping on my, 30s, I think it's a completely different person. And when you think about what you allowed in past, you wonder, like, if I, knowing what I know about love now, did I ever love that person? Did that person ever love me? And it's important to question those things. What Shaunie has is an inner monologue. She's questioning herself, and that's important. Leave a comment below if you guys understand where I'm coming from. I think Shaunie is asking the important questions here, and it's one that you would get if you're thinking retrospectively. Leave a comment if you understand where we're coming from. And we're going to move on to the next topic. Before we do, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I don't do it for my health. And you guys make sure you follow us on all of our socials. Instagram.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, Twitter.com/@Carmine Davis, TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis. And we're going to go on to the middle hot topic from LuckyScott.com. Whoopi Goldberg hits back at Little Snowflake Trump for suggesting she might move to Canada if he wins. I'm not going anywhere. Whoopi Goldberg is firing back at former President Trump after he knocked the View co-host and suggested she might be moving to another country if he wins his bid to return to the White House. Early this month, just hours before his Manhattan hush money trial resumes, Trump reposted a meme on his Truth Social platform depicting a doctored photo of Goldberg with the caption reading, "I'm moving to Canada for sure this time." Trump wrote his own caption for the post saying, "Canada doesn't want you, Whoopi. Nobody does." Ooh. During a Hot Topic discussion about Trump today, Goldberg switched gears to address Trump directly. I'm going to put the video right here.
You know what I'm a little agitated about? That man has something to say to me. He saw a meme. You know who? Saw a meme that said I was leaving the country. People always see these crazy memes that I'm going to leave the country if he gets in there. Somebody else thought I was leaving, was sending suggestions for people to take my place. Look, I'm not going anywhere. And it's not for the reason, you little snowflake. It's not for the reason you think. He said nobody wanted me. Honey.
We want you, Whoopi.
Well, you know what? It wouldn't matter if no one here wanted me. Thank you. But I know where I'm going to be because I got a contract. So I'm going to be here where I'm wanted for the next couple of years.
I know, that's right, Whoopi. At this point, Goldberg faced directly to the camera, smiling, and as you guys saw, and saying, "Look, I'm not going anywhere. It's not for the reason, you little snowflake. It's not for the reason you think." He said, "Nobody wanted me, honey. You know what? It wouldn't matter if no one wants me here or not. I know where I'm going because I have a contract. So I'm going to be here where I'm wanted for the next couple of years." Goldberg paused only once during the response to say thank you to an audience member who shouted, "Love you, Whoopi." Amen to Whoopi Goldberg. I like her a lot. But she might be one of the only Black people I know who are staying here. This year is a presidential year. It's very important. There's a lot of shit going back and forth. And people are facing financial hardships, health, all kind of stuff. And I've spoken to at least, I know, like 10 people who are planning to move out of the country. And they're meaning it. Right now, the rise of, especially people of color, Black people, moving into other countries where their dime is going further. A lot of people are working from home, so they're able to work remotely and move to other countries. And some countries are paying Black people to move there. So, Whoopi, it might have been like some doctored shit, but it's a real thing going on. People would rather move out of this country than to deal with the idea of another Trump presidency or a Trump influenced presidency or a Trump influenced world right now. It's a mess. And but I completely get where Whoopi comes from. Like, where I'm living and all that, I do feel like I'm one of one or one of few. And it's tough when you're having a lifestyle, when you look a certain way, when you live a certain way, and the people around you don't want you around, or it feels that way, which I'll get into on my, after show, patreon.com/Carmine Davis. But it is very tough to be queer and in here. You know what I'm saying? Black and just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard, and it does feel like you just want to go to a place where your money is accepted, your life is accepted. America. A lady told me she's from Rwanda. She was my Uber driver, and she said America is like one of the only places that if you don't work, you don't live. And it's a sad truth. It does sometimes feel like, especially people of color, you're not supported. Leave a comment below if you understand where I'm coming from. If you're moving out the country, do you have plans on moving out the country? Do you wish Whoopi would move out the country? I love Whoopi. I want her to stay right there on The View. And that's it. We're going to move on to the next hot topic. Before we do, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I don't do it for my health. Okay? Follow us on our socials, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis, Twitter.com/Carmine Davis. And we're going to move on to the next hot topic, okay? More about this Drake and Kendrick and Metro Boomin, all this shit. From LoveyScott.com, 21 Savage says Metro Boomin and Drake will squash their beef eventually. For 21 Savage, caught in the middle of the beef between two of his closest collaborators, Drake and Metro Boomin, the rising Atlanta trap star expressed his hope for peace. During an Instagram live session on Sunday, May the 12th, the London-born rapper responded to comments about the pair's issues. "Don't keep coming on my motherfucking line talking about no motherfucking beef," Savage said in a clip shared online. "Metro is my brother, Drake is my brother. Those niggas are going to figure that shit out eventually." That said, Savage worked closely with both artists fairly recently. On the production side, Metro contributed to the tracks like Pop Your Shit, Dangerous, and Just Like Me from January's American Dream. Meanwhile, the Slaughter Gang founder teamed up with Drake for Her Loss, followed by their extensive It's All a Blur tour. Drake and Metro's conflict escalated with the release of We Don't Trust You in March. The project contained Like That, which saw Kendrick Lamar taking shots at the Toronto native. Meanwhile, The Weeknd and Rick Ross were perceived to have their thrown jabs at the Hotline Bling hitmaker. When We Don't Trust You first came out, fans speculated that Metro was also subliminally dissing Savage for apparently not sharing it across social media. However, the beatmaker denied those rumors. "What do I look like subbing Savage and we were on the phone for an hour 2 days ago? Y'all should have known something was up, but negativity and bad news travels faster and further than anything else." Over the weekend, Soulja Boy called out Metro regarding 2012's tweet in which the producer showed excitement about working with Jeezy, contrasting it with sending beats to the Pretty Boy Swag artist. In an Instagram video, he demanded the post be deleted within 24 hours. Responding to Soulja Boy's request, Savage came to Metro's defense by simply saying, "Or what?" The two rappers subsequently traded words on Twitter, with the Grammy winner issuing a series of threats this morning. "Speaking on a nigga mama like shit again, you gon' shit on yourself when I see you, boy." I don't understand what the hell that has to do with anything. But, like I said, prior, the niggas are the new bitches, and I think all of this is a mess, honey. It's a mess as usual. Like, I love 21 Savage, and I like the stint that he's taking, but I don't see Drake and Metro ever coming to terms ever again. This is nasty. I heard they're running over there down to Drake's house, honey. He done called the police on people like 3 or 4 times. Like, I don't know. What they say, what's beef? Beef is, what is it? What's beef? What's the line go? What's beef? What's beef? Beef is when you need to gas it to go to sleep. Beef is when your moms ain't safe up in the streets. Beef is when I see you guaranteed to be the ICU one more time. What's beef, baby? Like, they got some real kind of beef going on, and it's getting nasty. Leave a comment below if you think that 21 Savage is right. Do you think that him and Drake and Metro Boomin will all come together again? Do you think it's up? Is it over? Is this going to be something that we're going to have to just deal with as rap listeners? Leave a comment below, and that's the show. Make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. Do it for my health. Follow us on all our socials, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis, Twitter.com/Carmine Davis, and tune into the podcast, the after show of the podcast, Patreon.com/Carmine Davis. I'm about to spill some tea and give y'all the what's on the what's and the, all that shit. Make sure you guys subscribe there, and that's the show. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.